What's up guys, my name is Ace, and in today's Apex Legends video, we're going to be breaking down the barrel stabilizer attachment to let you guys know in great detail exactly how these work and how they will affect your guns. So obviously, if you just read the description, barrel stabilizers reduce recoil on your weapons. We're going to be going much deeper than this though, and having a look at the exact view kick values that are changed with the barrel stabilizers and how much each of the tiers will affect these values. So the values that are going to be affected are going to be our view kick values for both pitch and yaw, or vertical and horizontal recoil, as well as our randomness values for pitch and yaw. So the first set of values are going to be our view kick base values. Like I said, we have one for pitch, which is our vertical recoil, and one for horizontal. And this base value just determines how much your weapon will kick on average every time you fire a shot. The higher the value, the more recoil you will see with that weapon. The second set of values are going to be our random values, and once again, these are separated by horizontal and vertical, or pitch and yaw. And with these values, the larger the number, the more random variance you'll find between each shot as you're firing your weapon. So not every single bullet that you fire with a gun is going to give you the exact same amount of recoil. There is a certain amount of randomness attributed to that. This is why the recoil on some guns is going to be more consistent and predictable than others. So now let's get into the exact values that are changed by the barrel stabilizers. Then I'll show you a little bit of side-by-side without barrel stabilizer versus a level 3 barrel stabilizer. And then finally, towards the end of the video, I'm going to show you guys the difference between a purple and a yellow, or level 3 and level 4 barrel stabilizer, because it's a very subtle change. So starting it off with our vertical recoil only, the level 1 barrel stabilizer will give you a 10% base reduction to your recoil, which is very minor, hardly even noticeable, but it will also give you a 20% reduction to the randomness value of your recoil, which is quite nice to have. As for the level 2 barrel stabilizer, this gives us a 15% reduction to our base recoil value for vertical recoil, and a 25% reduction to the randomness value. This just leaves us with level 3 as well as level 4. They are identical when it comes to these values. They get a 20% reduction to the recoil as well as a 35% reduction to the randomness value. As for our horizontal recoil, it's pretty much the same story. Our base value reduction is going to be the same for all of the barrel stabilizers, but our randomness values aren't reduced quite as much when it comes to the horizontal range when using barrel stabilizers. So those are the exact values that are changing, but how does this actually translate into the game? Let's have a look at some recoil comparisons I managed to do in training mode with a purple barrel stabilizer. Unfortunately, that's the only barrel stabilizer you have access to in the game's current state in the training mode. But with the R301, as you can see here on the left-hand side, we see what the recoil looks like without a barrel stabilizer, and then on the right, you can see a pretty noticeable difference with a purple barrel stabilizer equipped. I also decided to test one of the highest recoil guns in the game, which is the R99. And as you can see here, without barrel stabilizer, we get quite a bit of recoil, and then with barrel stabilizer equipped, it's a relatively small reduction. Of course, it definitely doesn't hurt to have that barrel stabilizer on the R99, but you can see there that you don't see quite as much of a recoil reduction as we saw with the R301, and this is most likely just due to the fact that this has higher recoil values in the first place, including that randomness value, which will create more variance per shot. So finally, I wanted to test one of these semi-auto rifles as well. So we have the G7 Scout. And as you can see, once again, there isn't really a super noticeable difference between having no barrel stabilizer and having the purple barrel stabilizer equipped. Now, the final thing I wanted to have a look at is the difference between a purple and a gold barrel stabilizer, or level 3 and level 4 barrel stabilizer, because as you saw earlier, the recoil reduction is actually identical between these two. So what's the difference? Well, the difference actually comes in your muzzle flash, or the flames that come out of your barrel at the end that can obstruct your vision. When you have a level 4 barrel stabilizer, this significantly reduces that muzzle flash, and therefore your vision isn't obstructed quite as much as you're shooting at your target. Now, to have a look at this side by side, we have the exact same gun. We're using the Spitfire in this situation, and in this first clip, we've got a level 3 barrel stabilizer, so a purple one. And you can see there is a decent amount of muzzle flash. You can see those flames coming out of the end of your barrel. At close to mid-range, this isn't going to be a big deal, but at really long ranges, you can definitely lose your target in this muzzle flash. Now let's have a look at a level 4 barrel stabilizer and its effect with the Spitfire. And as you can see here, there's almost no muzzle flash. There's still a little tiny bit, but not enough to ever really obstruct your vision. So you can definitely see a clear reduction to that muzzle flash with that gold barrel stabilizer. Now, is it the end of the world if you don't have a gold barrel stabilizer? No, absolutely not. Generally speaking, muzzle flash isn't a big issue in this game based on my experience, but it is a nice perk on top of the standard purple barrel stabilizer. So with that, that's going to wrap it up for the barrel stabilizers in Apex Legends. After seeing the data and doing the testing for myself, I was actually quite surprised to see that the barrel stabilizers don't make an incredibly big difference to your recoil in most situations. In my test with the R301, it definitely helped quite a bit, so I'm definitely going to prioritize that gun for my barrel stabilizers. But with many of the other guns in the game, it has such a small reduction that I would say it's not really worth risking your life to try and get a barrel stabilizer or trying to upgrade your barrel stabilizer. But of course, just like with all the attachments in this game aside from optics, it's not going to hurt to pick it up. So if you have the option, of course you want to get the best barrel stabilizer possible. But I'm thinking about maybe I see a situation where I know a barrel stabilizer is in a certain location, but it's kind of risky to get there and I will likely die trying to get to it. After seeing these results, I'm probably not going to take that risk. But of course, I'd like to know in the comment section below, what are your guys' thoughts on the barrel stabilizer after seeing this video? Were you surprised at how much recoil reduction you get with the barrel stabilizers? And also, what do you guys think about the muzzle flash in this game? Do you think it's really a problem without having that level 4 barrel stabilizer? Or have you never really even noticed it? Just let me know those thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.